Hello, I'm Devin, integrative health expert, Ayurvedic health advisor, and holistic coach. Welcome to InnerSpark Living from Your True Nature podcast. This is a resource for those ready to gently, naturally, and sustainably restore their energy, their clarity, their health, and their wholeness. Each episode offers grounded, practical guidance and soul deep insight drawn from nature's wisdom, integrative health, and the timeless principles of Ayurveda. Together, we explore real, sustainable self care, healing from the root and how to actually get there, and dissolving the inner barriers that keep you unwell, depleted, and stuck in survival mode. This is an invitation back home to yourself. And now for today's episode. Hello there, and welcome back to the show. I am so grateful to have you here with me today. We're going to explore the most important relationship that you have in this life. Any guess on what that is? It's the one with your body. Not just the physical structure that you move through the world with, but the living, breathing, pulsing instrument through which you feel, sense, experience, and ultimately return to your true self. My intention with today's episode is to invite you to really see that your body is not a problem. It's not something to fix. It's not a machine. It's not there to be pushed or controlled or overridden. It's not a project to perfect. It's not a means to an end. Your body is a wise, sacred guide, a messenger, a mirror, and your greatest spiritual ally in this life. We'll talk about what it really means to be in relationship with your body and how to start listening to what it's been trying to tell you all along. So let's dive in. You've probably heard the old saying before that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And this body is the way that we have that experience. So it's through this body that we're able to feel and to sense and explore and learn and grow. This body is how we feel love, how we grieve, how we hold joy, how we hear our intuition, how we sense truth, how we come home to what's real. It is a sacred instrument, not a thing to control or manage. And it's also simultaneously not something to overly identify with or to fear. And I think that many of us are swinging those extremes. Somewhere along the way, we completely forgot that balance. We forgot the real purpose of these bodies that we're living in. And we began swinging between extremes, either micromanaging every calorie, every sensation, every perceived flaw, or completely disowning the body, ignoring its needs, and spiritually bypassing the messages that it sends. But there is a middle path where the body gets to be the real tool and messenger that it is meant to be. And this middle path is one of sattvic or peaceful, balanced embodiment, a way of being that is reverent and curious and connected and clear. And in this state, we care for the body, not from fear or shame, but from love, from partnership. Because when we honor the body as sacred, it becomes the very bridge between the human and the divine. And so, something really important to remember about the body is that it doesn't speak to us in words necessarily, right? It doesn't speak to us in the way that I'm speaking to you right now. It speaks in sensations. And these sensations are quite subtle. So it whispers and it nudges, not always with language, but with tension, expansion, butterflies, knots, heat, stillness, fatigue. And here's what's really important to understand. Your deepest truths, the ones that come from your heart, your intuition, your soul, your connection with spirit, and however that looks for you, these truths tend to be quiet, subtle, deep. They come through the body in subtle ways. They don't necessarily shout. They don't rush. They don't come across as boisterous and loud and demanding. However, your ego, your unhealed patterns, your protective mechanisms, those get loud. They show up as urgency, as cravings, as reactivity, and they often drown out that quieter, truer voice. So much of learning to trust your body again is about rebuilding your ability to listen to subtlety, to soften enough to feel what's beneath the noise. So it's this like subtle knowing versus reaction, stillness versus stimulation, guidance versus distraction. And learning that difference and really learning to get quiet and still again and be with yourself, be with your felt experience changes everything. And most of us were not taught these things. We weren't modeled these things. And in fact, many of us were actively and purposefully taught to do the opposite. Think about it. From childhood, we're taught to like hold our urine during class, right? Oh, it's not time to go to the bathroom. We're told to don't cry, don't have emotions, to suck it up, to push through, to just take a pill of some kind and move on. We were told to ignore our hunger and have like specific times. And so then we are really out of connection with the cycles of nature, which gently guide our bodies and their digestive processes so that hunger and fullness come rhythmically and should come predictably and at kind of intervals throughout the day. This is teachings from nature, from the cycles of the day and from Ayurveda, where we're naturally have these rhythms for consumption and for elimination. And then we're taught to override our fullness, to perform instead of rest, to hustle harder, to stop being too much or not enough. We were told what to do with our bodies, right? Like move in this way, eat this much, do this, do that. We weren't taught how to be with them and how to actually connect to our own sense of discernment, which lives in the body. We know when something is right or not right for us. And because we've been actively taught and shown the opposite of that, many of us have a very broken relationship and broken sense of self-trust as a result. Additionally, there's this over-identification with the body as we equate our self-worth with what our bodies can or cannot do, or how they do or do not look, for example. We equate our sense of deservability and whether or not we're lovable based on what we do or achieve. So it's all very externally focused and depends a lot on what our bodies can or cannot do or how they do or do not look. Think about that. Think of challenges in your life throughout your life, especially when we're growing up. Many of these things stem from what our bodies can or cannot do and how they do or do not look. And we're taught and shown these sort of ideal ways of doing things with them, whether, again, that's resting or eating, and not resting, really, let's be real, eating, moving. And then when we fail in some way, it's our fault, rather than maybe everything that we're being told and shown is completely unnatural and actually harmful. And we are losing our ability to actually hear our own innate wisdom and our own innate discernment. That disconnection between ourselves and our truth, which is in the body, that's how we're able to feel it and access it, because our bodies are our instruments. They're our suits for this life, They give us all that we need, and it's through them that we're able to feel and sense, like I said in the beginning. So when we're disconnected from that and looking to the outside for the answers and for what to do or how to be or how to move or what to eat, it really creates a disconnection. That disconnection breeds so much shame and mistrust and disempowerment and a lack of self responsibility. I really love that word. Think about that word for a moment. Responsibility. So how well we're able to respond. And like I was just saying, we've been conditioned to look outside ourselves for everything, for truth, for approval, for guidance. And this is really fragmenting. And it fragments ultimately our understanding of health and healing. But the truth is, your body has been speaking all along. So it's not like it has stopped. We've just stopped knowing how to hear it, or maybe have never really been able to. And actually, no, I feel like we all are born with that sense. So we all were at one point, and we all still can. We've just gotten good at overriding, and we can turn that around. Just as we learned it and we're conditioned that way, guess what? You can unlearn and uncondition. You can drop that. So let's talk about how symptoms are sacred messengers, because this is where things get really powerful and where we can relearn to listen and be with our bodies and our felt experiences, and relearn how to be self-responsible and empowered. Every symptom you experience, every ache, every pattern, every area of tightness or pain is a message. Symptoms are not random, they are sacred metaphors and messages. And Ayurveda in particular teaches us that disease is a process, not a moment or like a flip of a switch. It's also, according to Ayurveda, not a diagnosis with which to then become attached and kind of hold on to. And it's also not something permanent, that it's a process. And so whatever is happening now doesn't mean that it needs to keep happening. So when we can start listening with love and curiosity, symptoms no longer feel scary. They feel like invitations. They feel like, I'm having a conversation with my body. They help us come closer to ourselves. So as a couple of examples, fatigue. It's not failure or laziness or like, I can't keep up, there's something wrong with me. It could be depletion, grief, a misalignment between what you're doing and what your soul truly needs, right? Like something is not working in your life because you're living against your true nature, living against your true desires, maybe trying to be something or someone that you think you need to or should be versus who you actually are. So looking at these things that kind of show up. As another example, gut issues. They may be asking you, where are your boundaries porous? Where are you taking in what you can't digest? And we talk a lot about digestion in my work, and it's really important. It's not just food, it's not just the food's journey from mouth to toilet. Digestion is happening on that gross physical level, where it is, the food that we take in, this food stuff that goes into our physical body, but it's also happening on a very metaphorical and energetic level too. So, for example, these words I'm speaking to you right now, you're taking them in. This is you consuming and receiving, and then this will need to be digested. So many of us are overriding our capacity, and we're consuming a lot. And so where are those boundaries porous? Where might you need to not just set boundaries maybe with others, but with yourself? Like, where are you taking in too much stuff, too much media, too much TV, too much internet? And so this can present itself in the physical gut, because that capacity to digest food is also our capacity to digest life. And so if we're constantly consuming through the senses, energetically, through the mouth with actual food, we're taking in more than we can digest. And that's one of the prime ways to begin the disease process. As another example of a symptom and a way that your body is speaking to you, skin issues could relate to visibility or shame or exposure. So, are you being seen in ways that feel unsafe to you? Are there some emotions that haven't been processed? Skin is really linked to our emotions, and where in particular the skin issues are showing up on the physical body can tell us a lot. How they're showing up, the quality. Is it dry and itchy? Is it red and inflamed? Is it kind of oozing? Is there like some kind of substance coming out of the skin issue? So all of these are clues that can guide us even more deeply into what the body is trying to tell us. So the body's not betraying you. I've heard this a lot from people over the years. I've certainly felt this way about my own body. It's actually loving you. Our bodies love us so much. Think about all they do from the moment, my goodness, that we are growing inside of our mamas and then are born, and just every moment, what they are doing. So they're speaking to us, they're trying to get our attention. They're speaking truth and mirroring things to us that we may feel like we can't understand, and we can. And it's through that um, connection, that repairing of the communication, that healing and magic really happen. It's like having a communication breakdown with somebody that you love, right? Sometimes it's uncomfortable, it's not the best. And then when the two of you can come together and sit down and be heard fully, be seen, share, get back on the same page, my goodness, that repair makes the relationship so much sweeter. There's a richer experience, a depth, a closeness that wasn't there before. And so that's the opportunity with your body in any moment, especially when it's speaking to you and you feel like you might not understand it. So what does it look like to come back into relationship with the body? It starts with softness, willingness, stillness, slowing down enough to feel, listening, noticing patterns, tracking cycles, being present with what is moment to moment without rushing to change it. So being with this kind of radical self-acceptance and openness. And I am here with you. I'm listening. What are you saying to me? What does this mean? What do you need? Truly, embodiment is a spiritual path, not one of aesthetics or performance. None of that. Not with an over identification with the body, where you think that you are the body, or your sense of worth is based on what it can or cannot do, or how it looks and does not look, but being with it as a way of coming home, as a way of translating your inner worlds. Because the physical body is a just kind of a crystallized expression of your inner subtle world. So this is learning to trust your body's natural intelligence and remembering that you are nature too. And this is where true healing begins. And it's so rich. True health, real, deep, radiant health isn't just physical. It's emotional, mental, energetic, spiritual. It's the whole of you. Again, the body is simply this solidified, manifested mind, emotions, and energy parts of you, the subtle parts creating the gross. And everything matters and everything is connected. And healing and wholeness are rooted in connection, not control. And that path looks different for everyone because we're all different. We all have our own beautiful, unique imprints and impressions and perceptions. So there's no one size fits all path. And that's part of the reason why I love this kind of rewilding natural way of being and healing and living is because again we are nature, and Ayurveda reminds us of this. It's a science of rhythms and individuality and wholeness that helps us to return to alignment with our own nature and with nature itself. So when we remember that and embrace that wholeness, we stop fighting our bodies, we stop projecting our ideals or our shoulds on them, and we start walking with them. So as we come to a close today, I want to leave you with this reminder that your body is amazing, miraculous. It is not betraying you, it is not broken, it loves you. It is not behind or too much or failing you. It loves you, and it is right here in this moment speaking your truth all along. So the invitation is to slow down and soften and listen. And I imagine that you'll find that your body has never stopped trying to lead you home to yourself. So maybe taking some time today to pause and ask, what might my body be trying to tell me today? What wisdom is waiting beneath the symptoms? And what does it need? Let yourself breathe into that space and really hold those questions and just receive the subtle nuances of the way that the answer will arise. Remembering that the body speaks in those subtle, softer ways. Those loud, kind of reactive, craving type things are more imbalances and coping mechanisms. So, okay. If this episode touched you, please do share it with a friend or a loved one who might need to hear it. This is a really important topic, and I would love for us to remember our self responsibility and to come into a deeper relationship with these amazing bodies.